Check, 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 check. All right. So let's see. I'm looking at that screen and got my Egyptian licorice mint tea. Yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy. I think I actually need a third screen now. One for the screen share, one for OBS, and one for the hidden stuff that you can't see, like if somebody calls and I don't want their phone number to come up on screen. Londos. Takes one to know one, buddy. How about that? Takes one to know one. Whoa, look at that bald spot, though. Holy, I got the widow's peak. Back here, too, maybe? Yeah. Oh, well. It was good while it lasted, huh? Life. If I do this. If I do that, does it hide it? Oh, hold on a second. If I do this. Oh. There we go. No more bald spot. Boom. I'm late in life, Londos. I'm late in life. Just imagine that I become successful. I'm 44, bro. I'm going to be 44 next year. You know? It'll be a miracle if I make it in this world. You might have to be my attendant for seppuku. Just put me out of my misery. If I don't make it, bro. Alright. I'm half joking about that. My metaphor for seppuku is going down swinging. I guess I know I'm not going to make it, but I'm going to go for it anyway. You know what 50 Cent, the rapper, said? Get rich or die trying. You know? That's what it is. Alright. Let's get into the news. This is some good tea and honey. You'll appreciate this. The juice bar on the corner, it's going out of business. He had a fire sale. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing here. What's a fire sale?
Here's the definition of fire sale. A sale of goods remaining after the destruction of commercial premises by fire.
Yeah, so I guess that's basically what it is. He's going out of business, or he's out of business. He's been closed for like the past 2 months, with a sign on the door saying "family emergency." Will be out for a couple of days. That was like 2 months ago. 2 months ago. So he calls me up yesterday. You know, I'm closing up. If there's anything you want, I'll give you a good deal. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent because it's kind of embarrassing. It's supposed to be my rent money. But I got enough honey to feed an army and tea. You sound like an old man sipping that tea and honey. It's gross. When I was your age, I respected my elders. Get off the lawn. Sunshine. Let's see here. What are we going to learn about? What are we going to go over tonight? Let's start. There's so many stories here. Okay. Let's start with Gen Z. What's Gen Z?
According to Wikipedia, Generation Z, colloquially known as Zoomers, is the demographic cohort succeeding Millennials and preceding Generation Alpha.
Generation Alpha? What the? Alright, so anyone 81 to 96 is Millennial. What's 80? I think I'm Generation X, actually. 1980. What's Gen X? You're my elder? Yeah, you sound like it, cranky. How about that? You're just jealous you're not sipping on Egyptian mint and licorice with buckwheat honey. I'm gonna sip it all night. Generation X is the Democratic cohort following the baby boomers and preceding Gen X. 1980. Boom. 1980. I just made the cutoff. I'm the last of the Generation X. Wow. I was born on April 27th, 1980. So I'm technically Gen X, but I can lie about my age and say I'm a millennial. Wow. Nice. All right. Now that we got that out of the way. Gen Z's already worried about looking old. Influencer Emma Brooks never really worried about aging until she turned 20. All right, let's see what this person looks like. Emma Brooks. Wow, 1.4 million followers, huh? Yo. Public figure, management, Alana at homemadeprojects.com. Let's see what homemadeprojects.com is all about. What the? Password? Oh, gosh. It's Illuminati. Alright, we got YouTube videos. Donate to Coop's advice. Nah. Goodreads. Okay. Books better left unread. What books I've read this summer? Wow. So okay. So we got Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Amazon, and email. All right. Let's go to the YouTube. Let's just get a quick idea. I feel like I've seen her around. The face looks familiar.
'Cause you're sweet like a flower in bloom.
Okay. I'm gonna try to be a positive influence, a positive. I'm gonna try to have a positive frame of mind. Okay, John Man Bro said what I was thinking. Girls will wear 7 layers of tops but one pair of thin leggings. Yeah, I love how the coat on top of the short skirt makes it look like she's not even wearing anything under it.
Rose, 'cause you're sweet like a flower
Short skirt.
in bloom. Can I call you Rose? 'Cause your fragrance takes over the room. Darling,
Wow, she's got her own purse. It says Emma on it. Cody, my man. What are you saying meh to? You don't think she's all that? Oh, is one of these a Kardashian? Picasada, Amanda Diaz, Women in Film LA, Maddie Ziegler. Okay, I never heard of any of them, but I guess they're trying to get into film, or they are in film. Oh, cute, cute cake song, short skirt, long jacket. Ah, cake. I got you. Yeah. Speaking of cake, right? There's a guy in LA. Oh, I see. Look, the print, the design on the shirt, on the dress has this in there because I'm trying to figure the word out. Has this coloring, this shading. It's like a muscle shirt but for a booty. This is a peach skirt, right? It's not see-through. This coloring is actually on the skirt, on the dress, and the breasts too. Young lady, okay. Wow. That's like me wearing a pair of tight pants with the drawing of the outline of a phallus on it. I mean, look, like I'm looking at this. It looks like she's not even wearing anything except I guess that's the whole purpose, right? It's skin color. It's supposed to look like she's naked with flowers on it. That's pretty cool though, to be honest. Like the idea of it cries for attention, you're saying, Cody. That's the game though. That's what these influencers do. That's how they make money apparently is by getting attention, and then they get sponsored. 24 hours in New York City? Hold on. Let me write this. Hit me up next time. Oh shit, hold on. I got caps lock on. I wanted to do hit me up. Wait, hold on. I don't want to look thirsty. I'm not going to put HMU in all caps. Hit me up next time, and I should put I run this town. Let's leave it like that. I don't want to try to sound like I'm impressing her. Hit me up next time. Yeah. This is her boyfriend? What's his name? Zach Lugo. You Sicilian? Sicilian? Is that his actual name? Lugo? I guess he's Sicilian. Oh yeah, and this is his girlfriend, Emma. Aw. Aw. Cute couple. Oh, he's got the Illuminati tattoos. Look. Ah. Next thing is going to be pizza. Watch. Oh, he's in Japan. Very cool. I'm going to go to Japan one day. Tokyo. Alright, let's go back to the story. You're shocked that he's in the Illuminati? Yeah. Well, I was actually talking to my dad on the way over here. He gave me a ride after we saw my son's Christmas concert. And we were talking about one of the singers in the show. She also was the lead actress in the play because my son's he's in like he's not in the what do you call it? The acting club. He's actually in the production aspect of it. He built the helped to build the set. So I went to go see that. And anyway, my dad said, she was dancing and singing at the same time, yada yada. And then we started talking about, oh yeah, but it's tough. It's tough in the business. That's what I said. It's tough to get into business. He's saying you got to know somebody or have parents that are already in or get lucky. So, this guy, Lugo, Emma Brooks' boyfriend, he's a model. I don't know if he's saving up, but he's probably, got his own place. And what did he have to do that to get that? I don't even want to know. He definitely has one arm filled with tats. And me personally, I like an artistic theme. When somebody has like tats that it just looks like magnets on a refrigerator, I like more of like a piece of art instead of just collecting like stickers on a suitcase. Cody did play lighting, sound, some stage production in high school. Fun days. Yeah, I'm happy for my son. He seems to be, I don't have a lot of contact with him. I try to text him. He doesn't text me back most of the time, but I see him once every other week usually. I try to see him once a week. Anyway, I'm happy that he's social. He seems to have a lot of friends. My other son, he's more of a computer guy. He plays Grand Theft Auto role play, which he has friends online through that. He's always on Discord talking to people. Um, Tattoo collecting like stickers on a Trapper Keeper. Oh man, I don't know about the Trapper Keeper, bro. What's up with that? Is that a binder? I think I remember. Let's look it up. Stickers on a Trapper Keeper. Trapper Keeper. Why were Trapper Keepers banned? Oh, very cool. The 80s, bro? Oh, 90s. So, which one are you? Cody, are you Gen X like me? Or are you millennial? 1965, really? Wow. That's like Eddie Vedder. Wow, he had boomers. He had two boomers. Wow. 10 years between the. Yeah, they could just lump all these guys together. Boomers. Wow. Which one are you, Cody? 90s style? You're probably a Gen X like me if you were born. Or maybe you were born in the 80s. You're a millennial. Anyway. She turned 20 March 81. Oh, that makes you a millennial. Hey. I'm right on the edge too. April 1980. So we're only 1 year apart. We're basically the same. Gen X millennials. She started freaking out. She said, I look different than I did 2 years ago. Wow. I mean, she looks fine on her Instagram. I guess it's like, you know, when you're a model, you're under a microscope, magnifying glass. Though the oldest among them is only around 26, Gen Z is already anxious about looking older. Prevention, rather than correction, has become the status quo. Nice. They're opting for makeup products with anti-aging benefits like fine line reduction and SPF protection, and 70% use anti-aging serums daily, according to intelligence from Circana. Botox startup Peachy said Gen Z is its fastest growing cohort. Oh no. Oh no. Why did I get this story in my box? Do I look that old? I guess I do. Look at those lines in my head. Well, I haven't eaten any food in 2 days. Today's day 2. I ate dino scales in a salad on Monday, maybe. Cody, comparison is the thief of joy. Well, you know, we're human, bro. We gotta compare apples to oranges, you know, green apples to red apples. I get what you're saying, man. Do you, be yourself, and that's good enough. You gotta feel for these kids, though, especially girls, because they're consumers and they're sold an idea of beauty, right? And then all their favorite influencers, like Emma, is telling them to be like me. Let's see here. Things I do to slow the aging process as a 14-year-old. I'm actually worried to see this. Oh my gosh, where is it? TikTok. Is this the original? No, 4,000? We need one with like millions of views if it really went viral. I don't really know how to use TikTok too well. Oh, we got 21,000. Carson Bradley. Is it Carson Bradley? Let's look up Carson Bradley. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is it right here.
As a 14-year-old. I started doing most of these things at 12. Number 1, I take 2 apple cider vinegar pills. I do this twice a day. Number 2, I use a retinol twice a day. And one of my favorite tips is I get my body lotion and put a little bit in that and then apply it to my body as usual. It's actually so good for you. Next is I love Korean skincare and I do 2 face masks a day. I always use the leftover essence all over my body. I leave this face mask on for around 10 minutes. Never forget to do skincare on your neck because that's one of the main things that ages. Again, using the leftovers. Next, I would always recommend a sunscreen with usually an SPF above 50. I use 3 fingers worth before my makeup. It doesn't matter if I'm just going to school, I always do this. Next, I always have green tea in the morning. Green tea is great for slowing down the anti-aging process and it's super anti-inflammatory and it also tastes super good. I always add a spoonful of raw honey to it because that's also an anti-inflammatory.
That's it? Just one
And the
spoonful?
next thing I do, and probably the most crazy, is whenever I'm going on a long road trip, I always tape up a piece of construction paper. This blocks most of the UV rays. And last but not least, I always sleep with a satin pillowcase. Bye, hotties! Here's some things that I do to slow down the aging process.
Wowee. Whew. Step 1. They're not going to stop going online, bro. Step 1, you got to go right to step 3 because those 2 steps ain't going to happen. I'm sorry to tell you. Come on, man. I like that she's at least starting with apple cider vinegar. She's got green tea in there. She's got raw honey. I mean, hey, look at some of these Asian women, man. They're 50. They look 20. But I'm not down with the Botox, though. I think that's dangerous. You know, you got to sign a waiver. Anytime you get Botox, you got to sign a waiver because you could actually die. Thanks to Instagram, TikTok, and Zoom, people are spending more time than ever looking at their own faces. That's facts. Alright, I don't know. I think I got enough of this. Let's see. It's a bit of a juxtaposed generation. On the one hand, they're about body positivity, authenticity, credibility, and then on the other side, they're very focused on anti-aging. They use filters and put an emphasis on perfection. There's positivity on one side and fear on the other. I'll tell you what, just focus on health and then you'll hit all your bases. Count the lines on their neck. What do I got here? I'm looking at the screen. 1, 2, 3. Looks like there's 4. Is it 1 per decade, maybe? I'm like a tree. I got rings. Gen Z wants to slow down the aging process rather than correct problems later. A Paris-based dermatologist. The age group's polarization of prejuvenation procedures that focus on prevention represents the most significant change in cosmetic dermatology in the past 2 decades. 1 a decade. Okay, that makes sense. So I got 4. Brands are making more products to meet demand. Volume of skincare, blah, blah, blah. Let's fast forward. In the wake, brands specifically tailored to young skin are cropping up, including Between, a skincare label based on the idea that teen skin is not adult skin. And Indu, a teen skin and makeup brand by Feel Unique co-founders Aaron Chatterley and Richard Schissel, with a list of no-go harsh ingredients. Let's see what this is all about here. Are they selling the harsh ingredients, or they're saying they don't use harsh ingredients? Created with teen. It's got to be this one. Created. I'm gonna follow. Created with teens for teens. All right. Link in bio. Makeup collection, skincare collection, color conjoining. The Indu story. Our no-go ingredients. Here we go. Cool. I'm down with that. I mean, come on. Matthew Klein. We know how important it is to feel confident about what you're putting on your skin. That's why we're committed to complete transparency when it comes to the ingredients in our products. We understand that the world of skincare is constantly evolving, with new research emerging all the time. So our ingredient list may evolve too as we stay up to date with the latest information. Our products are vegan and cruelty-free. Let's go. No good ingredients: phthalates, talc, triclosan, trichlocarbon. Okay, let's try to pronounce this one. Methylchloroisothiazolinone. Whoa! All petrolatum. Wow. Parabens, oxybenzone, retinoids, butylated hydroxytoluene, carbon black. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm glad I followed them. They got anything for guys? Maybe I'll go emo. Palette sets, eyeshadows, mattifying, cheeky smiles. I'm gonna need guy liner and nail polish. Eyeshadow pods, highlighters, bronzers. Alright, looks like the closest I'll be able to get is the eyeshadow. Yo, here you go, moon blue. I don't know, would I look good? I probably have to go red. Firelight. It's probably expensive. Supernova. Ooh. Firelight or supernova? Do I want dark or bright? I think you want actually bright on top of the eye. You want to put bright here. Maybe. Maybe dark there. I don't know. I don't know about makeup. Oh, wow. Look at this. Yo. Eyeshadow supernova. Oh, it's pounds. So this is British or euros, whatever. Anyway, that's cool. Kind of promising that vegan, cruelty-free, and people are looking into healthy lifestyle as a way, I guess, to look good. I'm hoping that this fast I'm doing now makes me look 10 years younger. What they don't want to do is something like this, because the older generation got plastic surgery and it didn't really pan out the way they thought it would, because if you depend on plastic surgery but you don't have a healthy lifestyle, it's a temporary fix, because the skin is going to age anyway, but now you got scarring, and the scarring, it kind of makes it look worse rather than just the natural aging. Now you got aging plus scarring. I think maybe they were doing a bit of experimentation with plastic surgery, and they needed volunteers, and so they used marketing to sell this stuff to celebrities so that the celebrities would sell it to the public, and they didn't really have a 10, 20 year study to back up what they thought was going to be a good idea. So the other thing with Amanda Bynes is she I think she had a bad reaction to the MK program. Let me refresh the page so I could watch the video.
So I saw a couple of stories online that say I have a new look, and I was never open about this before, but I actually had blepharoplasty surgery on the skin folds in the corners of my eyes. So I don't have those skin folds anymore. It was one of the best things I could have ever done for my self-confidence, and it made me feel a lot better in my skin. So I just wanted to post about that just to clear up that rumor. As to why I have a new look. I feel a lot better now about myself, and I'm so glad I had the blepharoplasty surgery. It was one of the greatest things I could have ever done.
It sounds like, that was rehearsed. So, the skin folds in the corner of your eyes. Huh. She definitely doesn't look the same. And, people gotta do what they gotta do to be happy. I just generally I won't say anything negative, It is what it is. Happy for you, Amanda. Happy that you're happy. That's what I want to say. Let's stay on the topic of teens. Pew. Many teens use social media almost constantly. Oh my God. I think I'm guilty of this too. Amount teens say they use apps and websites. YouTube. Almost constantly. Yo. Several times a day. About once a day. 16%. 17%. Almost constantly. Wow, I gotta really up my my TikTok presence, huh? Nearly 1 in 5 teens say they're on YouTube or TikTok almost constantly. Sheesh. The report paints a picture of a rising generation whose lives are dominated by a handful of social platforms, amid ongoing debate over the possible mental health harms that could result. Social media's effects on teen mental health come into focus. Experts are increasingly warning of a connection between heavy social media use and mental health issues in children. Some scientists who study technology's effects on children say the negatives far outweigh any positives. Oof. Sounds familiar. There's a substantial link to depression, and that link tends to be stronger among girls. The more time the teen, particularly a teen girl, spends using social media, the more likely it is that she will be depressed. Okay. Well, I'm going to explain this because I'm going to explain from a devil's advocate point of view. Excuse me. Okay. The reason why social media is causing depression is because kids are prone to depression. Hormones, improper menu, and the other one was the social aspect. So, like, kids are cruel to each other. So, social media is not causing this. Social media is magnifying it. Just like Ultimate Fighting came out and exposed the inadequacy of single style martial arts. It showed us we had to have a multiple disciplinary approach to fighting, or at least a multiple range, so striking and grappling. But that reason why we saw that, and the reason why mixed martial arts has evolved and developed since Ultimate Fighting came out, is because of social media, because of television. Back when the UFC first came out, we were tape trading. Somebody would record the pay-per-view and pass around that tape. So you could see what works, what doesn't work, you know? And the social media, it's like, even though you're in two different houses, even though you're in two different states, two different countries, you're right next to each other because you're both right next to the phone that's connecting you. So social media connects everything, and there's no place where, like, maybe somebody who's living in Idaho or Texas or, you know, the Midwest of the United States, they wouldn't have had that much social interactions up until social media. So I would say that if you took an inner city school, or a school that was in a very populated area, you would see a closer rate of depression comparable to what this article is talking about. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's always been there, but it's been amplified by social media. And social media is not causing it, it's just amplifying it, if that makes sense. And now the next part, the more time the teens, particularly a teen girl, spends using social media, the more likely it is that she will be depressed. The way I'm going to explain this is that the type of girl, the type of girl or person that's going to spend a lot of time on social media, that girl has personality attributes that make her more likely to be depressed. It's not the social media that's causing it. It's like, it's like saying, trying to think of a metaphor here. But if a girl or anyone is using social media all the time, I'll just give you an example from my life. I'm lonely. I'm trying to think, like, in the middle of the day. I'm like, dang, who can I text? Who can I call? I don't have any friends that I can talk to right now. I thought about getting a therapist. You know, when I have that feeling in the middle of the day, and I'm thinking about my sons. You know, they're in school. They have their own life. I missed everything. I miss them. You know, I'm gonna start crying. So who can I call? Nobody. Guess I'll distract myself. Social media. You know. Oh yeah, I gotta make a video for YouTube. I gotta make a video for Instagram. I gotta, you know. It's like, yeah, kinda, but you know, I'm not gonna say that social media is causing my depression. It's just exposing it. Or the reason why I'm on social media a lot is because I'm depressed. That's what I'm trying to say. Not because social media is causing the depression. A little bit of devil's advocate. That's all. Anyway, got a little sidetracked there. Nearly half of teens say they use the internet almost constantly. Yeah, I'm in that I'm in that population of people. Wake up, check my phone. You know, if I'm going somewhere, got to put the headphones on, listen to Spotify. You know, never not some type of media. Kind of crazy, huh? All right, moving on. Doctors should intervene to help children with obesity. It'd be nice if doctors knew about nutrition, but it's not a requirement. They should intervene to help children with obesity, Task Force Draft says. What's Task Force Draft? Okay. Independent. Yeah, okay. Independent, right? Sure. But it doesn't recommend surgery or meds. Well, that's good. Maybe they are. Interventions for high body mass index in children and adolescents. There you go. Evidence-based recommendations about clinical preventive services. Okay. Nearly 20% of all children in the United States have what's considered to be a high body mass index. New draft guidelines released Tuesday by the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, there you go, say that doctors should step in to help these children better manage their weight so they can be healthy. In the draft guidelines, the task force, a group of independent experts whose recommendations guide doctors' decisions and influence insurance coverage, recommends that pediatricians refer children 6 and older who have obesity to comprehensive, intensive behavioral interventions based on what it describes as moderate certainty that such interventions can provide a moderate net benefit. The interventions did not pose any harm, but the task force's draft recommendations do not include weight loss medications or surgery, although it has looked at some research on those. Well, if they looked at research and they're not recommending it, you gotta wonder, what did that research uncover? The American Academy of Pediatrics, which updated its own guidelines to manage patients with obesity earlier this year, recommends both options for some patients. And some doctors that treat pediatric patients with obesity said using behavioral interventions only may be difficult for doctors to provide and difficult for families to access given the extent of the time commitment. Oh, wow. So you don't want to have a healthy lifestyle, you just want a quick fix, huh? Oh, gosh. What's in the proposed guidelines? High BMI for children is defined a little differently than for adults. For adults, it's 30 or higher, and the child is above 95th percentile of kids of their age and gender, based on U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention growth charts. For example, a 10-year-old boy who weighs 102 pounds and is 4'6" would have a BMI of 22.9. That would put him in this 95th percentile and suggests he has obesity. 102 and he's 4'6". I think some girls are that size. Based on evidence from grown women, based on evidence from 50 randomized trials that showed weight loss in children, the task force found intensive behavioral interventions would need to involve the child and their parent in at least 26 hours of help from a health professional a year. All right, let me write myself a note here. I'm putting something on my phone. You can't see it on camera. I'm going to say child. Whoop. Child. Parent. Fitness. Menu. Add. Alright. We're going to put this at Friday the 15th. That's tomorrow. At, we'll put this at 3 p.m. And then I'm going to set the alert to 1 hour before and 2 hours before. So I'll get an alarm at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Interventions could include supervised physical activity sessions, group sessions, and individual counseling that teaches children and their parents healthy eating, safe options for exercise, lessons on how to read food labels, behavior change techniques, goal setting, and ways to monitor diet and physical activity. Wow, definitely going to do that. Ooh, falling asleep here. Let's see if I can make it till 11:30. Okay, where were we? The more time they had in physical activity sessions and contact with experts, the research showed, the more weight they lost. The emphasis on intervention as opposed to just screening will be a shift in thinking for some providers. Unlike guidelines from the American Association of Pediatrics that came out earlier this year, these new draft guidelines focus only on kids with obesity and don't encourage interventions for children in the overweight category. The guidelines also differ in that they focus on lifestyle interventions only. Surgery, they say, is considered outside the scope of the primary care setting and is not recommended in these guidelines. The task force also examined studies including the weight loss drugs, and in most trials they were associated with larger BMI reductions than with the placebo, but there wasn't enough evidence to determine what effects they could have in the long run. The guidelines are not final and are only a draft. They'll be available online for public comment for 4 weeks. After a review of the comments and possible revisions, the task force will take a vote on whether to adopt them. New guidelines would replace recommendations from 2017 that leaned more towards screening as opposed to emphasizing doctor intervention. Because the task force guidelines typically influence what approaches or drugs insurance will cover, going without a recommendation for weight loss drugs means it could be a while before all children would have access to them. Let's see. Dr. Justin Ryder, pediatric obesity researcher of Chicago, wasn't involved with the draft guidelines, but said it's important that research continue on what is effective in helping children maintain a healthy weight. The millions of kids that have obesity really deserve treatments that work, he said. Those treatments could be medications, those treatments could be behavioral management, and those treatments could be surgery. Alright, well, I'm going to stick with the behavioral management, because that's what I do. Now, speaking of drugs, poison centers see nearly 1,500% increase. So that's whatever the number was, times it by 150,000. Calls related to injected weight loss drugs as people accidentally overdose. Poison control centers across the U.S. say they're seeing a steep increase in calls related to semaglutide, an injected medication used for diabetes and weight loss, with some people reporting symptoms related to accidental overdoses. Oh, this is the not Wegovy, but shoot, what's the name? Sept something. Wegovy is one, and the other one, the brand name I'm trying to look for. Ozempic. Yeah. People ODing on Ozempic, huh? Yo, it's crazy. Alright, let's move on. Sheesh. Anybody watching, you want to lose weight, let me know. I'll help you. Alright, do we want to learn about 5G causing headaches? What's this? Why your chain store pharmacist is so unhappy. Pharmacists swear an oath upon entering the profession to assure optimal outcomes for all patients, but current working conditions are making it nearly impossible. 96,000 pharmacists in the U.S. More than half report levels of work exhaustion and 80% low levels of job satisfaction. In contrast, 50% of community pharmacist respondents practicing in independently owned pharmacies reported high levels of work exhaustion, and less than 40% reported low levels of job satisfaction. Okay, I'll explain this. It has to do with working for yourself or working for somebody that cares about you, more as a person, as a human being, or working for a chain. You know, this is a chain pharmacist like CVS. Difference between working in a neighborhood diner and a franchise restaurant. That's what I think. Recently, pharmacists staged walkouts at chains like Walgreens and CVS, desperate attempts to draw attention to the poor working conditions and resulting burnout. The work situation is particularly concerning given the cold flu season and the role that retail chains for. Alright, we're not going to read the rest of this. A primary direct driver of their unhappiness with their work is the assembly line-like environment where highly trained pharmacists barely have enough time to complete dispensing tasks within the limits chain corporations set, designed primarily to improve efficiency. Oh man, they thought they were getting a high-paying job where they could sit back and relax. Turns out they got to be pushing pills quick, fast. The industry. Okay, I'm falling asleep, so we're going to cut it. One more story. One more. Yeah, definitely falling asleep. Alright, here we go. Last one. All about health tonight. I mean, I am a health coach. Americans' physical health has deteriorated since the pandemic. Wow. Americans' physical and mental health are suffering more than before the pandemic, new data shows. Diabetes, less healthy eating, high cholesterol, and lower confidence. What we're seeing here is definitely pandemic related. We're seeing a pretty substantial drop off in healthy eating habits and high levels of energy to get things done each day. Yeah, I noticed that in myself, to be honest. Low energy. It might be 5G. What do you think? Obesity and diabetes going up. Um, let's see. Eating habits. 46% said they ate healthy all day in 2023. Used to be 51%. Okay. Meanwhile, home cooking fell to pre-pandemic levels. 50% of Americans were active in 2019. In 2023, that figure is 20 less than half. That's not good. Increase in working from home could be responsible for this. Getting to the gym and getting your workout in, that's still intact, but we're not moving around as much as we used to. 28% said their health was near perfect. In 2019, it was 38%. Okay, 10% less. Yeah, I would say my health, compared to most standards, is pretty good. Definitely not near perfect. And I definitely am going to be improving that. Um, I don't know. I'm going to end it. Oh, yeah, definitely falling asleep. All right, listen. This is crazy. After the story, this is it. Last one. Brazilian gospel singer drops dead during show. Yo. Do we want to see this? I'm going to give you 30 seconds if anybody's in the chat. Tell me if you want to see a man drop dead. And don't say, yeah, you. I mean, it's most likely a heart attack. I wonder if he received any experimental medical procedures lately. You know what I mean?
Vai ser quando Deus cumprir o que se prometeu. Vai ser tão lindo quando teu sonho sai do papel. Você passou por coisas que ninguém passou, mas vai conquistar o que ninguém ainda conquistou. Vai ser tão
Yo. Too late, Lundos. Wow. Massive heart attack, only 30. Too young, too young. Oh, well, I have a feeling when I sing really hard, it's it's not in my chest though, it's not my heart, it's actually in my back, but it's close to my heart, but it's more a muscular thing from the tension. So don't worry, I'm not gonna drop dead singing scream rap or trap metal or regular metal. Londos, you're still gonna have to be my assistant when I commit seppuku. You know, you got a samurai sword? Can you swing hard enough? I don't want you to be nice, and then I'm laying there with the half head, a head half cut off. You gotta go right through. And then I'll be like this. It'll be the same show, except my shoulder won't be here. It'll just be my head. You could prop me up and then use AI. Let's just wait until, I make it or not. Could leave my head in Japan. Wow, imagine. That'd be a way to go out. Leave my head in Japan. We'll write a song. Leave my head in Japan. Isn't there a song, something, leave my heart in San Francisco? Let's see. Definitely ending it after this, okay? I'm falling asleep here. Whoops. Leave my heart in San Francisco. I left my heart. Aw. I left my heart in San Francisco. Acoustic cover, male vocal. Alright, Londos, here we go.
The loveliness of Paris seems somehow sadly gay. The glory that was Rome is of another day. I've been terribly alone and forgotten in Manhattan. I'm going home to my city by the wind. I left my heart.
I left my heart. I left my heart! I didn't warm up.
It calls to me.
Leave my head in Tokyo!
The morning fog may chill. Yeah, I don't care. Love waits there in San Francisco.
Left my heart in San Francisco dubstep remix. Oh, it doesn't exist. Liberace. Wow. Look at that guy. Let's put this on mute. Yeah. Liberace, huh? You like Liberace, Londos? Wow. Man's got style. Is that real hair? It's very shapely. Alright, I'm ending the stream. I'm going to listen to this song a little bit. I want to hear Liberace. What's a good Liberace song? Gershwin Melody, audience requests. Yo, you got a lot of nice outfits. Liberace about gay rumors. Boogie Woogie. I don't know. Let's see here.
Kids, and I think the regret is probably that I didn't have children.
There was never a Mrs. Liberace, except for his late mother, for whom his devotion is well known. Because of that, because of his flamboyant lifestyle and male friends, there have been questions about his sexual preferences. Those rumors used to infuriate him. About 25 years ago, you lodged a libel action in England against a gossip columnist who insinuated that you were not the marrying type.
We're living in such a permissive world that I don't think anybody really much cares whatever anybody does behind closed doors. It's not shocking anymore. It's, I think in the 50s, any publicity along those lines was very daring, and it called for a defense.
Okay, I think he answered that without answering it, and you could read between the lines. Londos, you're the Liberace of martial arts. Have a good night.